Hi, welcome to Goats Gardens and Healing Tips. Today is bath day. So we are getting into later September, and I like to give the goats 3 baths during the spring, summer, fall if I can. One right away in the spring as soon as it gets warm enough to get all their winter junk off, and then a midsummer, and then this is our last one. So today it's beautiful, it's sunny, it's warm, and you never know when the weather's going to change. So we decided today was the day. So Fern is going to be first because, as you can tell, Fern is the most nervous goat that we have, and she likes it when she gets going, but she's always scared of doing new things, so we're getting her out of the way first. And the way that we do this is I put all the other ones in the barn and I just take one out at a time. Now most of them will come walking over and actually really enjoy it, but Fern and Lucy are a little apprehensive, so it's easier if I just put them in the barn and then take them out one at a time. Corral them down. And it kind of gives me a chance to really look over their skin. It helps if they might have any mites or anything. I give them a nice bath with my dog shampoo, this earth bath. It's unscented, fragrance-free, all that. And then I rinse them with apple cider vinegar in water. So I just take a bucket of water and pour some apple cider vinegar in there, fill the bucket up with water, and that will rinse off all the soap residue. And it also is really good just to, if they would have any mites or anything on them, to help cleanse them really good. So deodorize. All right, so Fernie, a little bath time for you, girl. So like I said, Fernie is our one that gets kind of rambunctious whenever we try to do anything bodily wise, because she's just a little bit nervous, more nervous about that stuff. But
she's the strong girl.
And she's the strongest goat that we have. And it's definitely a 2-person job with the Fern here. So Fernie also does not ever make a sound unless we are trimming hooves or giving a bath or she's stressed about something. So you'll hear her make her little goat sounds, but it doesn't happen very often, does it, Fern? And it's also a good time for me to make sure they don't have, since we've had that CL in the girls, to make sure that nobody has a lump brewing as well. All right, Fern, time to scrub. And like I said, they actually really like to get groomed once you get going on it. So I know there's a lot of questions about collars with goats, and I didn't think I was going to do that, but let me tell you, there's times you got to grab them, and this is one of the times. Now with Fern, I do have a halter that I like to use when I'm doing her hooves, just to get her up on the stand, because she really gets scared and you have to kind of guide her up there, and I don't want her choking herself, so then I will use the halter on her. But she's doing really good now. Like I said, they really like it once you get going. Every night when we do feeding, we have this whole routine, and Fern finishes really fast, and then she comes over and she wants her nighttime massage, scrubbies, itchies, while the slower ones are finishing eating. So she does like this once we get going. And the water is warm. We hook it up in the house and bring it out here with a long hose. So I'm not dosing her with cold water here either. She is a big goat. I mean, she's a big Nigerian dwarf goat.
Half again.
Yeah, she's probably twice as big as Snickers and Oreo. She's a little bit funny about, she doesn't like anybody near her udders. She had, before I got her, it is exactly, I got her at the end of September, so it's 2 years ago I got her. And she had had a baby that spring, or babies, I'm not sure. I just know that she was a mom that spring before I got her. Okay, we're gonna rinse her, and then we're going to put some vinegar water on her. She's got a little scur growth here with her horn, which is bigger than I've ever seen it. So what you have to watch for with that is that it doesn't turn and grow into their head and start, you know, pushing pressure on their skull. So it isn't doing that at this time, but that's something we'll have to watch for, because then you have to trim it a little bit. In the spring, when they have their first one, when it gets warm out in the spring, then last spring I sheared with a dog clipper, not all the way down to the skin, but I took off, I kept brushing and brushing to get that winter undercoat off, and finally thinking, like, why don't I just clip them? And I did, and boy, was that ever nice. That we had, for the first time, we had some mites on them. We had such a long winter, and they were in the barn so much. So anyways, I was treating them with some coconut oil and essential oils, which was working, but then I thought, why not just give them a bath, because they got nice enough out, and then I clipped them down with the clipper, not all the way to their skin, like I said, but cut all that winter coat off, and that was like the best thing I could have done. So I think I'll just do that every spring. Clean them up. Okay, Fern, let's get a little towel dry. Little towel. There you go. They've all had a little bit of allergy stuff going on from the yucky air that's been this summer, so it's also good to just get them, all that stuff, washed off for a little bit. Not that they won't go roll in the dust again, but give them a little break. Okay, Fernie, we're almost done. Okay, let's give her a little treat. Here you go, Fernie. Want a little treat? You're all done. You're all done, girl. Here you go. See? No big deal. Okay, there's Fern. So we got Oreo next. Oreo volunteered. Oreo is our grooming dog. She loves to be groomed. She likes to be brushed. She likes a bath. And she's pretty good natured about it. So she's also one of the smallest ones that we have. And she's got scurs on her head as well. They actually all grew them at the same time, which I think is really interesting, because Oreo and Snickers are, let's see, how old are they? 3 years old this summer. And Fern and Angel are 4, 5, 6 years old. And last summer, they all grew scurs. And I just have to believe it's a healthy thing because of the minerals that I have them on or something. I changed over to some other minerals. So anyways, we have to watch hers because she does get one that tends to curl and rubber on her head. We've had to trim it a couple of times, but normally she rubs and rubs her head and it loosens up, and eventually, and they're always rubbing heads together. And I was just checking them and they're getting loose again. So this really wiggles around. This is the one that grows down, but that one's loose now too. It was really solid before. So hopefully what'll happen is she'll just rub it right off again. I like to try to feel under their belly when I'm doing this. to make sure there isn't any lumps and bumps that aren't supposed to be there. And white, when we got her, she was more blackish brown and white. I think that's why they named her Oreo, because she kind of looked like an Oreo cookie. But she's gotten a lot lighter. Oreo used to be a bossy girl, but everybody got bigger than her, so she's not such a bossy girl anymore. There you go. Okay, vinegar rinse. And actually, some of them don't even like them. There you go, honey. Come on. Come on. Clarabelle volunteered next. Kind of volunteered. She came to the door. Clarabelle's she's a good groomer too. Aren't you, girl? Yeah, you're good about getting groomed too, aren't you?
Put her down.
And she's pretty good about being led. Right now she's kind of bulking. Oh, sorry, honey. But she's pretty good about being led around too. Her and Lucy have the thickest coats ever in the winter. They're like little woolly lambs. Lucy's her sister, and they're already, just this last week, I think, because the nights are getting cooler, because it's pretty warm out yet. We had a couple of cool days that were just like around 60, and they instantly started getting filled out, puffy, thick-haired. They get really woolly, especially Lucy. Okay, you and your little big ears there. Get them wet. She's pretty cooperative with us, with the both of us, when it comes to grooming or hoof trimming or whatever. The other two were Nigerian Dwarf, and Clarabelle and Lucy are a mix between a pygmy and a fainter, is what we were told. They're definitely thicker hair, thicker body. Their hooves grow really fast. We don't have any goats that butt us or people. They're all pretty good temperament around people. Fern and Lucy are more scared of new people, but we've never had anybody get butted or anything, or bit or anything like that. I know that people say that goats hate water, and they do.
It's raining there all the
Yeah,
time.
it's raining, they're inside, but quite honestly, these baths, I think they feel good afterwards, so they really are not, it's not like this is a horrible thing for them. Okay, let's do the vinegar rinse here, Clarabelle. Just one on the head, that's it. Okay, a little spray rinse and a little towel dry. There you go, girl. Now her and Lucy did not grow little skurs, which I think is interesting. They're just, I don't know, these two are just different from the other ones in a lot of ways. You want to try, honey? Sometimes she'll eat one, sometimes she won't. There you go. Another one. That's it. Angel's got these really fancy feet and legs with those black stripes that go right down the center of her legs.
Pretty little goat.
Yeah, she is. She's a fancy girl. You're a fancy girl, aren't you, honey?
Sort of a work forest.
Yeah, she was her and Fern were working girls. They were part of a herd that cleared land. Only her and Fern weren't clearing the land so well, so they had to go. So you come to my house, didn't you?
Were you a slacker?
Yeah, you come to my house.
You got booted?
But we're glad you did because you are just a wonderful goat. Yeah. When I went there, I went into the little pasture. I had seen a picture of Fern in the ad that he wanted to get rid of her. And she looked so sad, so that's what I responded to. And it was my birthday, so, you know, he had to go get a goat or something. And so I stepped into this pasture. There was, I don't know how many were in there, probably maybe 10, 12 or something that they were going to be sold. And I said, who wants to come home with me? And Angel literally came running across the pasture, right up into my hands. So I said, I guess you do. And then Fern was in the back room scared. And the gal told me that Fern was her friend. So we brought them both home. And we're glad we did. Angel's a food monger, so she does like the treats.
You love those trees, huh?
Okay, Angel, there you go, sweetheart. Next. Yes. Did you hear your sister out here? You want to be part of the action? Mm-hmm. Lucy's pretty good about, she used to be a really, the blue is just being crazy over there. She used to be really scared and shy and fearful of any new situation, but the thing with Lucy is once she gets brave enough to do something, then she wants to be first the next time around, and then she wants to do it. So it just takes her a while to get, she watches, you know, until she gets brave enough, and then she likes to do it. I don't know, 6 months old or something. Clarabelle started growing, maybe even younger, really fast, and Lucy just did not. She just was kind of really a late bloomer, and she was so tiny we were actually worried about her. I even had the vet check her out and stuff because she just wasn't growing, and she was a scaredy little thing, and she got picked on, and I don't know, she took off like a year ago, and she's 3, so it took until she was about 2, and then she took off, and now she's kind of a bully. She's actually the most bulliest, isn't she, of the group? And she, you know, of course, she was the one that got picked on because she was so small, and now, you know, she's kind of picks on Angel. She has to boss her. She doesn't bite anybody or butt anybody. It's just, you know, herds them, like, you know, if they're eating and she doesn't want them to be eating, Angel particularly, then she'll run after her and shoo her away. But she's also got a very silly personality. Okay, vinegar rinse. But she might pretend like she wants one just to feel like she's part of the group here. And she's gonna eat one. Oh, she just wants to try it, even though she doesn't like it. And last but not least, it's Snickers.
Snickers likes this stuff.
Yeah, Snickers likes to be groomed. She's kind of being a little stinker a little bit because I think they've all been having some allergies with this air quality stuff that we've had going on. A lot of smoke in the air and stuff. And so her eyes have been kind of mattery. I've been using an eye wash solution on them, and she doesn't like that too much. So she's a little bit worried about what I'm doing, I think, but she's usually very good with grooming and hoof trimming. She's just a good-natured goat. So her and Oreo are half-sisters. I got them together. They were a rehome situation. Okay, rinse time. One more rinse. Come on, Snicky. There you go, Snickers. There, you're done, girl. So, should we get a shot of what everybody's doing out here now? Where's Angel? Okay.